It's 3 o'clock right now, and it's a Tuesday. 3 years ago, this exact moment, it would look completely different. I'd still be sitting in front of a monitor, looking at a spreadsheet, or most likely the company's database, and answering dozens of emails, and trying to solve dozens more logistics problems. And today, right now, it's about 3 o'clock. My windows in my kitchen are open. Dinner is already getting prepped and started for the evening, and the sun is definitely still shining. And my workday is over. And it's not because I'm retired. It's not because I suddenly became rich, but because I made one decision that completely changed the quality of my everyday life. I traded a corporate salary for my sanity, and I'd make that trade again tomorrow. You know, people assume that I took a huge financial step backwards when I decided to just abruptly cut the cord and leave my 9-to-5. Now, on paper, I would say they're pretty much right. Truth is, I get a smaller paycheck. I have barely a title, but here's what doesn't show up on a paycheck. We're talking real hours spent here. And I'm not talking about the 40 hours that you see on your pay stub for a salaried employee. Reality is you probably spend 60, maybe more hours. You know how it goes. You get emails before, during, and after dinner. Sometimes phone calls come in while you're on vacation. You get that Sunday afternoon anxiety because you gotta just roll it all out again the next week. And how about the meetings upon meetings? That mental checklist always seems to follow you everywhere. I was getting paid, yes, for 40 hours, but I was living my job nearly all the time, all hours of the day. Today, I work a few hours, minimum 25 hours a week. And when I'm at work, I work. And when I'm done with my day, I leave. Yes, that paycheck is definitely smaller. I'm not going to pretend that it isn't. Quite frankly, do I struggle with a smaller paycheck? Yes. But there's also a no. One thing I do miss in all of this is the discretionary spending. Hell yeah. Let's talk about that. I used to walk into a store and I think to myself, oh my God, that's really cute. Oh, look, it's only $10. Throw it in the cart. I barely think about it. However, now I see things a whole lot differently. The conversation is a little bit different. It's more a little bit like this. Oh, wow, that's really cute. Damn. It's $10. Take it out of the cart, put it back on the shelf. There are definitely fewer impulse purchases in my life. However, with that said, something unexpected happened. I stopped measuring wealth by what I could buy, and I started measuring wealth by what I could do with my time. Time became my new currency, along with my energy. And when I started thinking this way, it changed everything for me. One thing people laugh about when I tell them I work part-time at Target is they know how I dress at my Target job and the tools that I use. The days of high heels and nice blouses, those days are gone. You know, really nice slacks. Now it's a handheld device, jeans, red shirt, a box knife, and a pair of gloves. My little device tells me what aisle I need to work on today, how much time it's going to take me to do the job. And at the end of my shift, that device, it goes back into the charger and it stays there. I don't get emails. I don't have a conference call. I don't have any weekend follow-ups. And I don't have any more late night emergencies. There's no wondering what kind of mood my boss will be in when he arrives into the office tomorrow. I don't carry work in my purse anymore. It's been one of the greatest gifts I've given myself these past 30 years. Now here's where I collect my real paycheck. It's not the one that gets deposited into my bank account. No, instead, this one. It's 2 o'clock, maybe 3. I'm already thinking about dinner, but it's not because I have to rush. It's because I finally have time to enjoy it. For years, this block of hours always belonged to somebody else. Meetings, deadlines, problem solving, and stress. But now, this hour belongs to me. I absolutely love standing in my little kitchen with the windows open, maybe a few tunes playing in the background, It's my Zen moment. And you know, the smell of onions caramelizing in my pan and then throwing in and roasting that garlic. Oh, when it permeates throughout the house, it just smells like home. And then, like about 4 o'clock, we have dinner on the table. Do you know what that feels like after 30 years of corporate life? It feels like freedom to me. Even our evenings are different now. We eat earlier. We linger longer. I like to refer to it as meandering through time. There's time for us to talk, time to clean up without rushing. And oftentimes when all this is getting done, there's still daylight left. After dinner, we literally have enough energy, work and tinker on our projects. For me, I like to do YouTube. I like to read and garden, water the yard, and maybe just sit outside and have a drink. Or sometimes there's that moment where I like to do absolutely nothing. That ordinary Tuesday afternoon has literally become the greatest reward of my career, because for 30 years I traded my time for money, and now I'm intentionally trading a little money for a whole lot of time. And that's become the best investment I've ever made. When I was younger, I thought success meant climbing. I thought it meant having a higher salary. I thought that it was simply just doing a little bit better than my parents did. It's what they wanted for me. But, you know, that higher salary comes with a bigger title, and it comes with more responsibility. However, today, success looks completely different. And I think it looks completely different for a lot of people too. For me, success is making dinner before sunset, sleeping through the night, and maybe adding a couple extra hours in the morning. Having energy left over for the people I love. Having enough creativity left to build something that's literally mine. And I'm not saying everybody should leave their career. I'm saying sometimes we never stop long enough to ask ourselves what we're actually chasing. If you're sitting at your desk right now and you're watching this video while you're eating your lunch, I want to tell you I did that many, many, many years. And if you're feeling exhausted, I want you to hear this. Being tired, or I like to refer to it as being sick and tired, doesn't automatically mean that you're failing. Sometimes it means the life that you built, it actually may no longer fit the person you're becoming. Now for me, success isn't measured by what I can buy anymore. It's measured by the life I get to live between the hours of 2 and 4 in the afternoon. That is what I consider my wealth. That's my luxury. Something I get to do that I'm ever so grateful for. So let me ask you, if somebody gave you 2 extra hours of daylight every single day, what ordinary thing would you finally get to do? What would you make time for? Tell me in the comments. I have a feeling your answer has a lot less to do with money and a lot more to do with peace.